Hello, Melbourne. How are you going? Welcome to Bad Dates of Melbourne TV. I am here with very special guest, Alicia Norton.
Hi, Melbourne.
Now, I am here delivering you the most disgusting, cringe-worthy, gross, hilarious bad date stories from Melbourne, and they are happening around us, all around you, all of the time, aren't they?
Every second of the day, every moment.
So I may mention as well, we are live. So you can talk to me right now and I will be reading your responses. So do say hello. Actually, what I'd like you to do, send me a selfie of where you're watching. I want to see where you're watching from. Are you on the tram? Are you at home? Are you on the toilet taking a... no one would ever read Bad Dates of Melbourne on the toilet, would they?
Oh, I do.
Oh, it's
all the time. I save it up for it.
Oh, well, you do need to have a little bit of light entertainment for those special moments. So Alicia is a comedian and she will be joining me this week for Bad Dates of Melbourne TV, and I will be coming at you every Thursday at 5:30 with the best bad date stories. Now, I have been holding out on you, I must say. I have been holding out the very best stories for this show. So I'm going to have a quick look at Facebook and see you guys, see who's watching.
I want to see.
I'm very interested to see who's coming at you. Oh my gosh, I can see all of the eyeballs. So if I don't get to looking at your comment now, I will get to looking at it at the end of the show. So we'll keep cracking along. Who have we got here? I know that Christy is watching. How you going, Christy? I'm very excited to see you. Who else have we got here? Who have you got there?
I've got some Irene. I've got Chris.
Tim's very excited.
Oh, it's exciting. Emily. Hello, Emily.
Emily was someone who came to our hens, actually, the hens night we did. So she is a long time BDOM follower. So absolutely love Emily. We're watching from Vietnam. Hi, Vietnam. Hello. Good morning, Vietnam, we should say.
Hello. Oh, and I've got Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Oh.
Right, so I reckon we get straight into the first story. Now, this is fresh. So you haven't seen this on Bad Dates of Melbourne before. This is new. So here we go. Just get ready. I've been waiting a while to tell the story. Good Lord. It was hella embarrassing. I had been on a couple of dates with a guy I met on Tinder, and I was really into him. We decided it was the perfect time to have some fun. Yeah, I like where this is going.
We know what that means.
Well, we all know what that means. I was on some pretty heavy medication for medical reasons and was still adjusting to the IUD I had got a few months prior. So, your body's going through some changes, stuff's happening, all good, part of life, whatever. We were back at his place, just hanging out and having fun, when suddenly I see a confused look on his face. What could that possibly mean? Bad Dates of Melbourne, it couldn't mean anything too bad, could it? I asked why he looked so baffled, and he said, I think you're lactating. I'll tell you now, nothing kills the mood like titty milk. It turns out all the medication and hormones can give the side effects of lactation. How do you think your date or a guy you had been seeing would react to an accidental lactation?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I've dated some doozies in my time, so I can imagine that some would not be too pleased and some would be weirdly excited. So, you know.
Some may be into that. So who knows? So this guy, he actually found the whole ideal hilarious.
Good.
And happy ending. We're still together a year later. So I'm asking you guys, tell me, have you ever lactated on a date? Now, this is the sort of high quality content that I bring you on Bad Dates of Melbourne. I want to know, have you lactated on a date? Alicia, have you lactated on a date before?
No, I in fact have never lactated in my life, but I'm a super messy eater, so I've definitely spilled food on myself and then it's maybe looked like I've lactated. I don't know. But I don't know. What do you think the people of Melbourne are going to say?
Oh, I'm just answering the poll myself. Have you lactated on a date? No, I haven't lactated on a date. I haven't lactated at all, actually. Maybe, a few years from now, I'll be lucky enough to enter that stage of my life. But right now, there's been no lactation. I do have two sisters who have children. So, it's a healthy part of life. It's just something that goes on, but haven't done a date.
What do you think someone who you've dated might say in response if you started lactating just out of the blue on a date?
Look, here is the thing. I think a nice guy would just roll with it.
Yeah.
I mean, bodies do stuff. Oh. Sometimes it can be unexpected and you just roll with it.
I know all about that.
Do you?
Ooh, body stuff.
Ooh, I can feel that's going
Preview.
Anyway, but you know what? To be honest, I have been on a few dates where I reckon the guy might not be so good about it. But that's not the kind of guy I don't want to go out with, really.
No, that's it.
No.
There's a few extremes there. It's not just one sliding scale. There's like some spikes there. There's like super into it. There's super not into it. There's thinks it's funny. There's grossed out. There's so many ways that one could go.
For me, the guy who thinks it's funny and rolls along with it and just has a bit of fun. I mean, that's the guy that you want to go out with, right? Or the girl or whoever it is that you want to go out with, the one that just, rolls with the punches.
I want to go out with the one who's really curious about why it's happening and just really wants to get into the science of it.
Now, while we are on this, Mel has told us she's watching from the UK.
Hi,
you
Mel.
guys are going to make me late for work this morning. No regrets.
Yeah, we'll take that, Mel. We got it.
We'll write on your form. We were like, Mel was late to work today, busy listening to a lactation story told by two Aussie women on a couch.
Yep.
Best way to be late for work. We've also got Susanna. Nope, not a lactating kind of gal. Emily, woo, I got to mention. Yeah, hey, Emily.
Hey.
Kate, hello, Kate. How you going? I see you there. Tamara, you go, girls. I mean, that's very like...
That's us.
I'm watching you on my phone, so I'm watching all of this live. It's very exciting.
Interesting.
Also got Melissa from New Zealand as well. So.
Hi, Melissa in New Zealand.
Melissa. I do post New Zealand stories sometimes on Bad Dates of Australia. So, Melissa, if you've got one for me, pony up. I'm sure you've been on a bad date.
Is that a bit of a thing though, like New Zealand, Australia, Can we just group them in with us?
Well, not quite yet. I actually have probably had maybe 4 or 5 New Zealand bad date submissions. But, if you've got one, bring it on, me. Bring it on. Bad Dates of Australia, Bad Dates of Melbourne. You know how to submit. Send it to me on Facebook. So, story 2.
Bring it on, Ali. I am prepared.
Oh.
I'm ready.
This one is a highly relatable story. Highly relatable. I think it's something that most of us have related to. And I think probably for me, when I read this story for the first time, it really resonated with me because there have been points of my life where my body image hasn't been the best.
Yes.
To be honest, it hasn't been the best. Look, right now, I'm loving life. I'm feeling good. I've got the nugget chub going on here. I mean, like, loving this. I love my rig. However, it hasn't always been like that, and it did take many years for me to get used to the fact that this is my body and, it does a lot for me and I love it. But when I read this story, I was like, wow, relatable. So let me get started, Alicia. It was early days of seeing a gorgeous young man, and things were hot and heavy. Suffice to say, come morning, while he was sleeping in, I needed some sustenance to recharge my energy reserves. I checked the fridge and cupboards, but there was nothing to suit my then vegetarian needs. Now, it might come as a shock to you, but was a long point of my life where I was vegetarian as well. So, when nuggets aren't available, you make do. And obviously,
Not
it's hungry. Not chicken. You get the fake chicken.
I
fake
love
chickens.
not chicken. Sorry.
The fake chicken nuggets.
Oh.
I know you guys. I know that I love chicken nuggets. It's my thing, yes. Vegetarian chicken nuggets are damn delicious. They are delicious.
They're what dreams are made of.
Yep, you got to get onto that. If you're a vegetarian, you're not eating fake chicken nuggets, put down your phone, get off, go buy some now. So anyway, she's looking around for some food. I gathered up the loose change I had on me and headed to the only corner store in this tiny hick suburb for some bread to make toast. Tiny hick suburb. Where do you reckon that is?
This is a Bad Dates of Melbourne.
These Bad Days of Melbourne. The tiny, which is the
Ooh.
tiny hick suburb. I mean, I don't want to say. I'll get in
shade.
trouble.
I mean, like, I'm not originally from Melbourne, so
Alicia's from Adelaide.
Yeah, could come up really statist. I have nightmares about like the Formula One racing Grand Prix because I'm from Adelaide and we've got a weird. Anyway, that's a tangent.
we will come back to that. So she's in the tiny hick suburb, and being a tiny town, the cheapest loaf of bread was $6. My measly change only came to about $4.60, so I grabbed the only thing under $5, a Mars bar, and headed back to snuggle in. He wakes up to me chomping on a Mars bar. Suddenly, he pleads with me like I'm about to jump off a cliff. Please, don't eat that, he says. I mumble around the caramel. Why not? Here's the response. You don't need it.
Oh.
What she says to herself, really? If you're so horrified by my body, why am I here? Go and make me something vegetarian from your measly bachelor kitchen then. Oh, you can't? What a surprise. Funnily enough, that relationship didn't last much longer. I will not be snack shamed. Now, the measly bachelor kitchen. I mean, I feel. Look, I'm sure the measly bachelorette kitchen. I mean, that I'm
Much
living
of a
that.
muchness.
That's me. Like that's my life as well. But I've definitely been in the measly bachelor kitchen as well.
Yes.
Oh, it is not much happening in there.
It's a gloomy, dark place.
Ooh,
I would not recommend venturing into those pantries.
I mean, like there's no spices, no
No.
sauces. I mean, there's
Maybe
not
some
much
baked
happening.
beans if you're lucky.
Some baked beans, a lot
Tintina.
of tintina, frozen goods. Not
Yeah.
much for a vegetarian, like in the
No.
story. It's not
No.
looking good. But snack shaming, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, looking back on my dating life, I have been snack shamed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been on dates where I've looked at the menu and the guy I've been with has like second guessed my choice of food.
Oh my God, it's the absolute worst. And I mean, especially in the times that you're dating, you're like, I want to treat myself sometimes. Like, maybe you don't get to go out for dinner all that often, so you're going to have something that you actually want. Who wants to go on a date and order a salad?
Oh my God, I can't think of anything worse. I actually went to Northcote Social Club once and they do a good parma.
Yes.
They do a really good parma. And I went with this guy and I sat down and I ordered my parma and I was eating my parma. And I was talking about all of the parmas that I enjoyed over the past week. Now, that week, I might have had 3 parmas in a week. So I was talking about that, and he looks back and he says, hold up, Ali. Are you trying to tell me you've had 3 parmas in a week? And I was like, yeah. Living my best life. Living my best life. I mean, that's parma
Was he
shaming.
okay with that? Was he?
He was judgmental. And like
Yeah,
as soon as I
sucks.
felt that judgment from
Yeah.
him, I was like,
Put him in
it's
the
a
bin.
no. It's a
Yeah.
no. I mean, you want to be comfortable with yourself around
Yeah.
partners and you want to feel good and you want to eat all of the parmas.
Has something in common. I mean, I have a friend and I'm pretty sure that her entire relationship, and she's been with this guy for like a year and a half, is built on parmas.
Oh.
I say palmy, but you know, whatever. And it's an Adelaide Melbourne thing, whatever.
I can tell. Like, I've got to get those comments up.
Like,
People,
palmy,
you got to tell
palma.
me, Palma. I mean, this is bad.
I mean, I'm in Melbourne,
Alicia.
so I
Come
really
on,
need to get out. I'm gonna get some kind of abuse here. But their entire relationship, they go for palmas every Thursday. They go somewhere different. Different pubs. They're trying all of them. She puts up posts on Facebook.
Does she have a best Palma in Melbourne?
Um,
This is not sponsored. No, you can tell me.
I mean, I would have to ask her, Beck, if you're watching, write in, comment, do you have a best Palmer in Melbourne?
Speaking of comments, Sonia has said, the colourless shapes make me feel like I'm in an episode of Lift Off. Yes, Queens. Can I say Lift Off? Oh, yeah.
That is a throwback. Some of you viewers probably don't know what that is because it's nah.
I totally. Now, so here we go. So, Amy Louise, now I really want a Palmer. What did they say? They call me an influencer. I'm a Palmer
Guys,
influencer.
let's go get Palmers
Let's get
afterwards.
Palmers. Steph, Palmy for sure. Emily, Palmer. Dale. It's a Palmo.
Palmer, where are you from? Dale, like, no judgment, but
don't
like,
know where
I just
Dale
actually want to
tried.
know.
Look, I think we can all collectively agree, Dale, it's not a palmo.
Palmo.
It's not a palmo.
But I want to start saying that now. Dale.
Beck says 3 palmies in a week is a goal,
Yeah,
not
hero.
a negative. So, you know, I feel... Actually,
Yeah.
there's that... Speaking of palmers, I dated this guy once. I dated this guy once. And he came over. He was sitting on the couch. This couch. Funnily enough. Excuse me. And I sat down and I found this new Palmer review Facebook page, but not like one Palmer review Facebook page, but like I found multiple, and I spent like an hour going like, what do you think of this Palmer? What do you think of this Palmer? What do you think of this Palmer?
There were pictures, obviously.
Yeah, there's a good one called Palmer Days, Parmadaze.
Yes.
I follow them. They're really good.
Yes.
But I showed this guy, I reckon I showed him like 50 Palmers, and then like a week later, he's like, we don't have enough in common.
I've had times in my relationship where my boyfriend and I, yes, in a relationship, so sorry guys.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, Melbourne. We've had conversations where we're like, is the only thing we have in common and bond over food? Yes. I mean, we have lots of other things in common, sort of, but mostly food.
Food is such a bonding date thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever snack shamed anyone, but I have snack wrap shamed someone.
What's a snack wrap shame?
Well, this is something I just made up then.
Okay.
But I once dated this guy when I was like 19, so we were pretty young. And he lived at home with his parents, and so they had like lots of school snacks in the cupboard, you know, like they're really
snacks.
like little, you know, packets of things and muesli bars and stuff that actually these days, now that you're grown up, you're like, how good was that? Anyway, so he'd go into the roll-ups.
Oh my gosh,
God,
roll-up,
he's
tiny
still my bidding
pennies.
heart.
I mean, we just got a little snack. I mean,
All
this
the
is,
things
this is
that
a
I
whole
wasn't
other...
allowed, yeah?
Yeah. Same here as
Yeah.
like it's a piece of fruit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want a piece of fruit. I want a little snack, right?
So, no problem with the snacks themselves, like mad respect to the snacks, but he would go in and grab something from the kitchen, ask if I wanted something, polite boy, nice boy, and then he would eat the snack, said snack, but then what he would do is he would grab the wrapper and he would, like, say we're on the couch, he'd shove it down the back of the couch or down between the cushions of the couch, and I was like, okay, like, who's dealing with that afterwards? Oh, my mum. Anyway, one day we went to fold the sofa out, the sofa couch. There were like dozens, I would say tens and tens, maybe hundreds of snack wrappers, like smushed flat because butts had been sitting on them, sealed to his couch, like years worth.
Do you reckon that guy grew up and became a really good date? Or would he be making it on the page?
I don't know. We're still Facebook friends, so he saw my share.
Hi.
Hey, guy. I don't know. He works in finance now, so this may be the only interesting thing about him.
Oh, here we go. So, a few things here. Apparently, I'm the queen of bad dates. Are you a good matchmaker? I could so see you doing it after all your research from Chloe.
You could.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'd love to be a matchmaker.
I'm a housemate matcher, so if anyone's looking for a housemate, I'm really good at putting housemates together. Weird flex, weird talent.
Aisha says, the rubbish bin couch is a red flag. You know, someone actually suggested that I stash chicken nuggets between the couch cushions for this. So I don't know who that was. It was on Bad Dates of Australia, I think, so I haven't done that. Apparently there's a Best Palmer of Melbourne page.
Can we look afterwards? And
Yeah, Holly, Best Palmer of Melbourne, shoot us the link for that in the comments. By the way, if I don't get to your comment, I will read it after this. And of course, if you've got a Palmer picture, if you've got a picture of your favourite Palmer,
a little bit of Palmer
show
porn.
me
Palmer porn.
palmography.
Palmography sounds like something else. Just going down a really weird path.
Anyway, we do have another story for you, but before we get onto that, I thought we'd have a little chat to Alicia.
Yes.
So if you Google Alicia, you're going to find some interesting content.
Google me.
Give her a Google, Alicia Norton. So she actually has, as you know, she's got a partner. If you go to her website, she has a story on her website called The Almost Relationship Ending Fart.
Yeah. So, I don't know, I've written a few blogs over my time just to get those thoughts out. Sometimes got a lot of feelings. And before there was Bad Dates of Melbourne, there was WordPress blogs. And before that, just a lot of sad people around. So I've shared a few stories from my life on there, and one of them in particular was about a particularly gruesome fart that I did.
You did the fart.
I was the farter. Yeah, I'm the farter in this story. I am the
Respect to come on like a live stream to thousands of Melburnians and talk about a fart.
Well, I wouldn't
fart
shame someone else. I couldn't come on here and talk about
There is no
his
fart shaming here. It's good.
I am the farter in our relationship anyway. I mean, like, I definitely fart way more than... I fart louder and I fart smellier. But this one was, like, a particularly shocking moment. It was completely out of the blue, apart from we'd had Vindaloo the night before. You can read the whole breakdown.
I feel like there's going to be some like Indian food puns coming our way.
Oh man, I did.
You know what it does to you.
Yeah, bring them.
Yeah.
But it was like, you know, just sort of chatting, and I kind of felt that it was going to be like a silent one, maybe a silent, polite one, not a silent but deadly. I just thought this one's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. And it started, and it kept going, and it kept going, and it kept going, and then it kind of just rang out. Like, if we were in a canyon, it would have echoed.
You know, on Game of Thrones, how Cersei gets like the bell and she's like, shame, shame, shame. We'll have none of that around here, thank you very much. Fart-friendly zone.
Yeah, and it was an act. It was just me being me in the moment. We've been together for a while, so it was fine. It wasn't like it was the first fart. It wasn't the first fart, but it was, I think, the fart that scared me, thinking it was almost over, because he was on his way to work, so he was out the door. Like, he could have never come back.
And what did you feel when he like experienced this incredible fart? And he's out the
impressive.
door, and you're like kind of like left there in the gas cloud, right? Like, but were you feeling confident in your relationship?
I was feeling a little bit of doubt in the relationship. I was feeling shocked that something like that could come from my body, because like I understand my farts, I know them. Sometimes I'm just like,
old friend.
Yeah, that's him, like self high five, because my fart is that good. Like, yes. But this
it's like your cheeks clap. Like, that's the high five.
Just like, yes, you. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, this is a bad health situation. But I was shocked. I was genuinely floored, but I was worried that I just turned him away, that was it.
So what happened? Like, did you guys together or apart? Like, what happened?
Oh,
is this your current boyfriend?
My current boyfriend, yeah.
Current boyfriend.
So we're still together, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, he now.
Hello.
Hopefully watching. You better be watching. It's fine, whatever.
Otherwise, I get entry. Dear Ali,
Yeah.
I did a Bad Dates of Melbourne segment, and he did not watch. From a reader.
A reader. Which reader?
Yeah.
But there's still times where especially if it's like a silent but deadly, and we'll just be sitting on the couch. I know what's happened, he doesn't, and then the smell hits, and I just go, sorry, and he gets up and walks out the room, and then comes back eventually, but he just knows now that.
Yeah.
And this sounds like I have a really unhealthy diet. I'm like extremely healthy, guys.
Yeah, so I have a healthy diet.
Yep. Okay.
I think anyone who follows me on social media knows that I do not have a healthy diet.
Actually, we went out for dinner last week, and you got a salad, so off-brand, and I got a burger, but we also got onion rings, so...
I actually went out to a cafe once, and I ordered, I think it was fried chicken tenders, and I didn't know that the waitress was a Bad Dates of Melbourne follower, but she goes... You're just the same as on social media. And I'm like, yep. I'm like, I actually have a chicken problem.
I was hurt that you got salad.
So Kirsty says, let them rip through the night when you're asleep and relaxed. That way you're not awake enough to be embarrassed.
Fair.
Meg says, my ex woke himself up letting them rip.
Yeah,
wow, that's loud.
Yeah.
That is seriously loud.
Up.
He wakes himself up.
With his farts.
How's that? What? Okay, I didn't know that was possible. Aisha says, I love your phone sticker. Close up, please. Ooh. So I actually have a Bad Dates of Melbourne sticker on my phone, which I will give to you if you come to the next party and I can be bothered printing them again, which I probably will. Who else have we got here? Aisha, you are the best. Well, Aisha's my sister, so... I would like to think that I'm okay. Sarah, had a dinner in my early 20s with a guy and mentioned I never had a palmy. He insisted I order one then and there. That's a good dude. Oh,
Yeah, he gave you a palmy awakening.
I love that.
He opened your eyes.
Parmasm?
Parmasm. It's like an orgasm from a palmer.
Yeah, like a palm. Yeah, I love that guy. I love. Oh, who else have we got here? I've got so many comments there. If I don't get to your comment, I will have a look at it later. So I reckon we get on to the next story. It is our final story, but collecting these stories has been hard because I've been collecting them for a couple of months now and saving the best ones for you guys for Bad Dates of Melbourne TV. So it's been hard to keep them to myself.
I bet you're like finding these stories and going, oh my gosh, can I make like a dramatic reading of it? Because your dramatic reading of these is top notch.
Thank you. I try my best. It's funny because I don't think these guys most of you guys actually haven't seen me like live and moving before. This is me.
Yeah, she's a real person.
I am in 3D. So, story number 3. I matched with a guy on Tinder, chatted for a while, and agreed to meet for coffee. He chose the pokies section of an RSL. A bit dubious, but I went along with optimism. He arrived and sat casually across the table from me. He said, "I'm a bit hungover. I went out last night to a party." Okay, nothing against him. We've all done that. But then he says, "I left my friends with benefits at home in my bed to come meet you." What the hell? Then he says, "I think I have a problem actually. I've got 2 dates today. I really need to stop booking so many in." Turns out he had another girl meeting him about an hour later at a coffee place around the corner. So I politely chat, finish my coffee, and we go up to pay. The pokey's going up to pay for your coffee. Then he says, "Watch this," with a grin on his face. Watch this. What do you think he's going to do? Paying, he's like, just watch this. You're just going to pay for the coffees, right? Like, what's he going to pull?
I don't know. Maybe he's going to try and win the cost of his coffee back.
There's more chili it. He goes to the counter and the lady behind it says, "Did you play the pokies today?"
Oh, God.
"Yes," he replies. This was a lie. He had not played the pokies. "Well, your coffee is free," she says. I paid for my coffee and legged it out of there. He even had the gall to try and kiss me in the car park after mentioning how my soccer mum car is really roomy, perfect for some action. Next, I never saw him again. I mean,
I just vomited in my mouth a little bit. Just had to swallow that one on down.
seriously, like going to the pokies to get a free coffee. I think probably what I loved most about this story is the fact that he's like, "Watch this." I mean,
I must admit, I can relate to him. Not in a dating sense though, but when I was at uni, my friends and I, our uni was sort of near a pub that had a pokey section. We would go to the pokey section, put like $1 in and just drink coffee for a while, right? And also
that makes sense though.
Yeah, and also
sense.
We're at uni and
you're
we're
not on
mates.
the dates. Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Maybe he was trying to win the cost, but he didn't even play the pokies.
You know what though? If he did play the pokies and he didn't lie,
Yeah.
Look, it's strange, but I could kind of be like, maybe he's frugal. Yeah. Like, am I being too generous here? Am I being too generous? Maybe he's frugal.
Trying to win I don't know. If he's saying he's got so many dates because he's such a big man, trying to win the cost back of his dates for the rest of the day. Like, it's just kind of smart thinking. And,
yeah, maybe.
You know, definitely not endorsing playing the pokies, but you can have a good laugh, especially, I don't know. My only time I've ever played the pokies is taking like my 18-year-old cousins for the first time. I only put $1 in.
So I'm having a look at the comments here. Sarah, going back to the farting, Sarah says, "Pro tip, before farting say, 'Hey, do you smell popcorn?' and watch them breathe in as you let it rip."
Sarah, you are a genius. Thank you.
I'm oh, actually, it's so funny. I'm getting, I won't show the name. I'm getting Tinder notifications popping up as we do this.
Oh my God. If
Tinder,
anyone wants
Tinder
to
boys, can you please Give me some space. I'm trying to do
If you want to match with me, I'm on Bumble Biz because I'm a professional who just loves to swipe.
Bumble Biz. I mean, like,
Sorry,
you can also find me on LinkedIn. Alita Biden.
Yeah.
Find me on LinkedIn.
Also on LinkedIn. Very professional people.
Amanda says, what's the best dating app? I need help. So there's only 2 dating apps I absolutely love and recommend. Obviously, they don't pay me to say this because I don't actually know if the dating apps like me because I kind of tell the truth about dating. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tinder and Hinge.
Yeah.
I think are the best 2 dating apps. I know people talk bad about Tinder. Tinder's actually great. The thing is, everyone is on Tinder, so you have to go through a lot of people before you find someone who's a good match for you, but they're out there. Hinge is great. Hinge is great because you get to chat to people. They've got the conversation starters.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of softer than Tinder. I kind of find the vibe is a bit more. They call it the relationship app. So
Ooh.
Hinge for relationship, Tinder for everything, including relationships.
And a good time. I've always had a good time when I've been on Tinder.
I've had a great time.
Yeah.
I wonder if my Tinder. I've gotten
got
3
a
messages.
few.
Have a look at that.
Ooh.
I've got. I don't say his name.
Yeah.
I've got.
Oh, this is the same
This guy on
person.
Tinder has sent me a multitude of messages.
He's
if,
on it.
If you're watching Tinder, dude, hello. Thanks for following my Facebook page. Is this weird?
No, I don't know.
Ah.
I mean, I can like even have a chat to him, give him a review of your personality and what you order when we go out to eat.
Michael says, people are probably afraid of being your next bad date story now. Well, duh.
I hope they're afraid of being mine as well because I tell, well, not that I'm dating, but I have told a number of stories to my friend here. Oh, it's
Leandra
fun.
says, your ripped poster on the wall is so distracting. It's funny, I actually didn't mean to rip that in half, but then I did rip it in half and I thought, you know what, this is a bad date. So I mean, like ripping this eligible suitor in half, it kind of makes sense.
I like
in a
to think it
way.
happened in the heat of the moment on this couch. I like to think
Yeah,
exciting things have
well,
happened on this couch.
I'll tell you what, nah. Nah.
Steamy couch session.
Anyway, we might wrap it up there. Is there anything you want to add before we tie it up, Alicia? Give yourself a little bit of a plug. Follow Alicia on Facebook. I've tagged her in the post, Alicia Norton.
Yeah.
Do you have any shows coming up or anything people can check out?
Nothing booked in or planned. I've been having a bit of a break doing lots of writing at the moment, all behind the scenes stuff. But hey, pay attention to my pages. You might see some stuff coming up. Love to do some lulls here and there.
Yep, give her a follow because she is a lot of fun. Thank you so much for chatting with us for this last half hour. It has been terrific. My guest next week is Remy Gordon. She is an Instagram influencer and makeup extraordinaire. Remy's looks on Instagram are just... they're ridiculous. Like, they're so good.
some following.
I don't, I'm not like a makeup person, obviously. I'm not really into like influencer, Instagram, da-da-da. But what she does is interesting and I love it. So I will be talking to her next week. Thank you to Handsome Tim for helping us out with everything. Really appreciate it, Tim. Thank you so much. Anyway, if you've got a bad date story to submit to us, send it to the Facebook page, Bad Dates of Melbourne, and I will read it and I will get back to you soon. Anyway, thank you so much for being, Alicia, for being with us. Thank you
Pleasure.
so much for watching. And don't forget, guys, love cannot cross the Yarra. I'll talk to you next
See ya,
time.
Melbourne.
See ya.